Women's Rugby Treehouse.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to Women's Rugby Treehouse. I am Julia. I am joined as ever by my co-hosts, Sean and Hattie. What's up, Sean and Hattie?
Woo.
Hello. Woo. So, as we are going on, we have just finished week 2 of the Women's Rugby World Cup 2025. We're going to be reviewing those matches. We've got a lot in store for you. And as we realized last week, we're just kind of going to be previewing as we go. So it's a 2-for-1, and it's one less 2-hour podcast from us you have to hear from. So with that said, first we're going to kick over to Hattie for a quick rundown of what we saw this past week.
Yes, so we're going to start off with the kind of big four. And so if we start off with just rip the bandage off, just like the world's worst wax. Canada versus Wales in Salford, 42-0. Wales were poor. Canada ripped us a new one. Yeah. I was there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I feel your pain. I have been there many a time when Wales are not at their best, shall we say, and it is very painful to watch in real life. Somehow worse than watching on TV. I think one positive, I was thinking about this earlier, one positive, I actually thought the scoreline was going to be bigger.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
So speaking of the scoreline, 42-0. So if anybody has had the displeasure of going to the AJ Bell Salford Community Stadium, you may know that there is only one screen in the entire place.
Right.
And I was on the stand, which was in line with that screen. And because of where I was sat, I couldn't see the screen. So because we had a try that was disallowed, I forgot that it'd been disallowed until the end of the game when I went on my phone and realised that we'd been nilled because I couldn't see the screen and therefore couldn't see the score.
Great.
Also didn't see that it was 42. So it was overall just a bit painful. But I think I put on my Instagram being like, well, at least I can't see the score.
Yeah. I genuinely thought we were going to lose by more. I know that sounds like a really weird positive, but...
Yeah, like when we play England, it's like 80 something. So like...
Yeah, I was kind of thinking maybe 60. I didn't think we were going to be nilled. I got to say it there. I think that was
the thing was
bad. And yeah, our lack of being able to finish, really. I mean, we had a couple of chances maybe early in the first half.
We were good in the first 10 minutes and good in the last 10, and then just disappeared in the rest. And annoyingly, Canada fixed their kicking problem from the week before, and Sophie Dagoti slotted 6 out of 6, which...
Yeah, insane from her. I think Canada dropped the ball a bit more than I was expecting because they're so good with the ball. And I think maybe had they, I don't know, it's a little bit uncharacteristic from them. And maybe they would have scored a few more if they...
It was a bit windy.
It was
windy during that game. And like, I don't know how to describe it. It was like a really like low wind.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's that northern wind. You can't.
So yeah, it was just a bit... It was windy.
The
weather for the second game that day was worse, but yeah, it was windy and it was quite cold. But you know, if anybody can deal with the cold, I feel like it's Canada.
Yeah. No, I thought they played well. Wales were poor. Like it comes down to a lot of what we've said before. It's lack of accuracy in the set piece, accuracy in things like basic skills like passing, and it was not great.
Yeah. So I think one of like the difficult parts of that game is that just like you could see a player and you'll be like, oh, they've got done really, really well in this statistic, right? In that game. But then their performance in the rest of the game wasn't great. Like Karis Cox beat 3 defenders, which meant that means that we only beat 4 in total. So only one other person beat a defender, which is not good. And then on top of that, she made some questionable defensive reads as well. Which I think comes down to the fact that she's been playing on the wing so much and then she was moved in. But it's just a bit pants.
It is. I'm not convinced that enough of our players are playing first team rugby at a higher level, at the highest level that they need to be. I think that's a massive thing.
That was where I was going to go, and Sean Lynn said it after that, and they keep using this phrase that like I like in practice, but that doesn't happen because like we need to have some hard conversations. I agree. Unfortunately, the resounding response from other people and then also from us when we saw and heard it was who then. So it's interesting that this World Cup is happening and that this conversation is happening while what is happening with WRU is what's happening with WRU. I have no idea. And we know, we can say cynically that probably WRU don't care about whatever impact this has on the women's program, but there will be one. I don't believe that those two pro teams will ever happen. I don't think they have anything in order to do that.
I mean, I spoke about it at length on Wrap, but it does kind of feel like the entire plan was set out. They completely forgot that the women existed. Belinda walked into the office and they went, "Oh shit, we need to write something down."
So did they promise something there's no way that they can deliver? Because what they promised is so far and away above what we would expect that it kind of seemed like this is setting them up.
Well, they haven't promised anything though, have they?
Yeah, didn't they say that they were going to do
this is just a proposal though. Nothing's been agreed yet.
Sure.
This is the great, big idea.
The pumping the money into the women.
Big beautiful strategy.
No, it really is. It's the big beautiful strategy.
Yeah.
The big beautiful PDF.
Where they're kind of saying, we're going to have 40 players for both teams, and it's like, do we have even 80 players in Wales? I'm not even convinced that we do. I don't know what's going on. If
we also maintain that the vast majority of the Celtic Challenge players can't rise to the Rugby World Cup level, like, does it matter? Because theoretically these teams would be playing teams that are full of players from these teams that they apparently aren't ready to play against.
I've thought a lot about this and I've talked at length about it at various places, and I just hate all of it. But I do kind of feel like when Sean Lynn says there needs to be hard conversations, unfortunately, if I was in charge, if this was Hattie's rugby dictatorship, which it's not, but it should be. Yet. I'm working on it. I don't know if you guys remember, like, after the 2019 Men's World Cup, the Italian men's team got completely culled, like completely destroyed. There was like 2 or 3 people that got kept, and they were still quite young. I honestly feel like that's kind of what we need to do with Wales women. And it's really unfortunate that Sean Lynn came in when he did, because these early results are always going to be held against him. And I don't, like, he's inherited a squad with bad organisation and bad contracts and bad coaching.
He's been given a complete hospital pass. I mean, he came in, like, was this 6 months ago? And it was like a week before the Six Bloody Nations even started.
6 Nations.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't have any, like, okay, he knew a lot of the players from Gloucester, blah, blah, blah. But he didn't really, like, what did he have? He couldn't try out combinations.
That doesn't mean that he knows any of the system. Not that he couldn't figure out the systems, but just that, like, you have to get used to them. Even if you're the best coach in the world, you have to, like, get used to things.
Exactly. And we don't have many matches. We have the Six Nations, we have a couple of warm-ups, and then we're in the World Cup. It's like, it's not a lot, is it? And I also don't think he's got the right support around him. Like,
no. And it's also not as if they went from the Six Nations back to club, played more club rugby.
Exactly.
And went into the warm-ups. They literally had Six Nations, warm-ups, this, and that's been it. It's just poor all around. And I honestly feel like the best thing would be to do a cull, but unfortunately that does mean getting rid of players that we love and players that probably have maybe a couple more years in them. But
and by the way, that have functions on the team. They're more than just playing the rugby is the problem.
But the younger players that are coming through, you can tell they've got more of a spark. I think they've got more heart.
I mean, you're definitely going to have more energy if you didn't go through what the crop that went through
and they
beyond
went through it
theirs.
multiple times, some of them. But they're not going to develop in the way that they should unless they've got a clear pathway, because they're just going to pick up terrible habits. Because I think that's
And
part
so-
of it is like they've just got into the habit of losing.
I
not
do think
fighting.
that's
Shawan said exactly that.
I do think that's the case. I think they don't have the confidence. And I just want to make a point about the fitness stuff, because it's come up again recently. I've seen a lot of comments on social media about the fitness. So we know that we're not at the level that we need to be. We know we're not.
What
at the
I was
level
going
of
to say
England.
was that Canada really exposed this, because Canada is
Exactly,
one
right?
where, again, has had the same or less chances to get good than Wales. And then when
Right.
you saw it exposed,
Exactly. But I kind of a little bit frustrated that people are kind of having a go at the same criticism. We know we're not fit enough. I think we're slightly fitter than we were since the end of the Six Nations, but this isn't couched to 5K, right? This is like elite sport. You don't just need a few weeks and then, oh yeah, you can run 5K and that's enough. Like the gap is so big. We're not going to suddenly get to that level in a couple of weeks. It takes a long, long time.
But I think that
Also-
also reflects on the coaching as well, because
It does.
like you can have a go at the
you
players
only
and
have
say
so
you're
many
not
hours
fit
in a
enough.
day.
No,
But-
it's not a personal thing against the players. It's
Yeah.
the system.
It's the
And
system.
they need a year at least.
And the thing is,
Exactly,
we know that Wales men aren't fit enough, Wales women aren't fit enough. So surely that's a problem with the S&C department at the
Exactly.
WRU.
Exactly, yeah.
And just to wrap up Sean's point, and even if you got, I'm trying to think of a country that we know has a really solid S&C. I mean, I guess Canada probably does. Let's say that they got those people in tomorrow. It won't matter. It's not going to change it in the next week or so. That's the whole thing about
Exactly.
physical fitness. So
Exactly.
Talking-
At this
talking about
level,
getting-
it's such a physical, they need everything for rugby. It's such a hard, it's not just like, running, you can train for running, but it's all the physical side. There's just so much like different levels to it. Yeah,
unfortunately, we all have the same number of hours in the day, and unfortunately, when you have so many items to work on, your coaches have to decide how much time you spend on each. I'm guessing that physical fitness is probably at the lowest, only because, correctly so, but you assume like while you're doing everything else, you're also working out, which is true. But
You need to have
One other
somebody in to optimize what's going on.
to optimize
Exactly.
it.
It's conditioning.
And
It's conditioning.
that goes back to conditioning. There's a reason why in rugby you can't succeed by just hitting the weights.
Yes, exactly that. But I also think Wales are a little bit chasing shadows at the moment, because we stagnated,
Also.
we went a little bit backwards, other teams are going up, and now we're kind of maybe stagnating again, and we're kind of making little gains, but the other teams are just improving. So at the moment, it's hard. It's hard for Wales.
Not to turn it into the Wales chat, because we do need to move on, but all I
Yes.
wanted to all I wanted to wrap up there was all of that is true, and I don't remember if it was Snowy or Sean. It was probably Snowy. This sounds like Snowy. But at one point, you can't keep pointing the finger at everything else forever.
Oh, absolutely.
Things have improved for them. Not gargantuanly, but also we are taking a magnifying glass to Wales because that's what we care about, and 2 out of 3 of us know a lot about it. But also, Canada doesn't have that.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
they manage. So there has to be something. At one point, it has to be.
I think
Maybe you don't have a good rugby team. I don't know.
I think Canada have probably a better attitude to women's sports, and I say that in a.
Yeah.
But
That's
I also accept that we've got issues with the men's game in Wales anyway. So I think
I
there's a
think- I
rugby
think for
culture
Wales-
thing.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I think for Wales specifically, it is truly like a sickness in rugby. I think that there
Yeah.
is something wrong with rugby in Wales.
Yeah, I think it's the WRU in general.
Yeah.
And very briefly, to wrap up, we're going to very quickly talk about the social media abuse of our lovely players, which we talked about on Twitter and on Blue Sky, and a lot of people have seen it. But
Drives me mad, this does.
Very
yeah,
briefly.
so Georgia Evans has been the kind of main victim, and she kind of spoke out. A lot of people are pulling her apart for her appearance. If you haven't seen Georgia or you don't recognise the name, she is the Wales player who wears big pink bows and likes to wear pink tape on her lifting blocks, and on her arm she has like a thing to protect her arm because she has a metal plate in there. And a lot of people were kind of getting at her for that.
This is, by the way, Jazz Joyce and Sarah Byrne all over again. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why do you care?
She
Yes.
she put an Instagram statement out and the WIU shared it. So that's been kind of going a little bit viral. Lakey George has had a lot of abuse for her weight over the last couple of weeks. And then I'm trying to think, Lisa Neumann has had a lot of abuse as well, with people kind of getting at her for her finishing rate as a winger, I guess. And so,
Which isn't amazing, but that's...
But like they were getting at her because she was celebrating 50 caps, and people were getting at her saying,
When
well, you
she-
haven't scored enough tries in those 50 caps. And
I saw one comment was like, how did you get 50 caps? It's like, how many freaking caps do you have, mate? It's like, come on.
and I
Also,
just think,
learn anything about whatever. It would send us back into Wales rugby chat, but we just wanted to come out and say this pod says shut the fuck up.
yeah, and the thing-
Absolutely. It's got nothing to do with rugby, any of that.
Got nothing to do
Like,
with
come
rugby.
on.
And by the way, we just want you to know it's super misogynistic.
this is it. Like you get some people say, oh, well, you're in the public eye, you should accept that you're going to get criticism.
Oh, okay.
Yes, there are male athletes
I didn't hear
who
you
get
say
abuse.
anything about Louis Rees-Zammit and his hair gel.
You get male athletes who get abuse, but the problem is with female athletes, when they get abuse, it is so much, it's at a higher
It's gendered.
rate.
It's all
And
gendered.
it's gendered. Julia will probably know what I'm on about, but last year the NCAA did like a survey of online abuse, which is American collegiate sports. And I think it was like 75% of the online abuse was thrown at female college athletes.
You have, did it happen in the Euros, or recently anyway, there were football players removing their social media accounts?
Yeah.
Because of abuse.
Certainly. And
It's
actually, by the
just-
way, even with the Euros one, soccer has this it's interesting. I mean, and this would go off in a complete, this would be really interesting to do maybe after the World Cup or something. But it is really interesting. Soccer has its own litany of problems with abusing women.
It does.
Soccer, it happens to be one where femininity is, I bring it up because we can't win. So what we see in soccer, I'm going to be very brief. What we see in soccer is we see players like, I'm going to bring up Barbara Banda because she's one that is often in the public eye, but these players who are not feminine enough, they're men. I think they're men competing with women because they have short hair or they're African or whatever. You're just racist. So that's one. And we do get it to a lesser extent in the women's. Hannah Botterman has mostly made jokes about it, but even her jokes have kind of hinted at what she's actually gotten. And of course, a lot of fat, funny girls know we're doing one because of the other. But she's gotten a lot that when she was talking to Meg Jones, Meg Jones was like, somebody told me that I didn't look like a rugby player, and Hannah Botterman was like, I've never gotten that because I'm a masked lesbian. Yeah. So Georgia can't be femme. Hannah can't be masked. Do you just hate women?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And we know that the answer is yes. So when you're saying that, we just want you to know it hurts the feelings a little bit. And then everybody walks away with it. Everybody walks away from the incident knowing that you hate women.
And it's my problem. One, it's just shit. And I'm like in my late 20s, I've
gross.
accepted it. However, you're then projecting those views and those thoughts onto young girls. And that's why young girls stop playing sport.
And Georgia even came out and said a lot of the reason that she does it, and you actually, if you are a Georgia Evans head like we are, if you know her persona and the role that she plays at Saracens, her club team, little girls love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so important. You're probably the same one. You probably retweeted some graphic from RFU about see it, be it.
But this isn't even the first
What do you
time it's
think it
happened to
is?
Georgia either. Like, I remember a couple of years ago, she got abuse for having eyelash extensions whilst playing for Saracens. Anyway, we're going to move on because we could quite literally, well, as everybody knows, we talk for 2 hours quite frequently, but we could talk for 2 hours about this one topic.
Yeah. We
So-
could, yeah.
And in fact, we might.
We might. So with that, we're going to move on to England Samoa. 92-3.
Ouch.
Unfortunately, not a lot to talk
Not
about here.
unsurprising.
Also
I don't-
not surprising.
No, I don't really know what these kind of matches tell us, really.
I do have
That's
a
the
fun
thing.
stat for you though.
Oh, we love a fun stat.
Yeah. Or fun fact. The Onsemamo Am I saying that right? I've butchered that. I apologise.
I don't know.
Christabel and Demille, they are twins, identical twins, I believe, and they started alongside each other for the first time ever
That's a great fact.
in the second row.
Even better.
Okay,
They're
that's
both
pretty
locks.
good.
I love it. That's amazing.
pretty good. If you have two giant daughters, what else are you to do?
And I think their sister also plays for Samoa as well and is in the squad.
Listen.
I love sisters
Unfortunately,
playing.
I was going to say, unfortunately, I worry that this question would bring us back to Wales, so let's stay away from Wales. But do we know a lot of cases of like 4 or 5, whatever siblings playing on the same team? Unfortunately, I think the only other place that would do it is Wales. But
Well, England have had, they had identical twins win the World Cup in '94.
that's right.
Oh,
And-
yes.
And Poppy and Bryony aren't identical, or they are?
They are identical.
And I think they both played in the last World Cup, but
I don't think
I don't think
Bryony
Bryony did. No, you're right. You're right. Never mind.
Yeah, because there was a post that
Close.
Poppy posted being like, "Oh, being a sister is the most important thing." Yeah,
I like how you said it in a way that you think it's chintzy.
I was just listing it off.
This is only child shit. This is only child shit. Oh, a sister. Shut up about your sister. Who cares?
Right, you shared a
Hattie-
room. Move
Hattie
on.
Hattie is also a bully in the comments, but it's all about, oh, you love your sister too much. Ugh. Everyone is like, stop being so girly. She's like, stop caring about sisterhood. I don't have a sister, so I can't relate.
My only sister was a golden retriever, and she died.
Oh
so
my god! Oh my god! And your
no,
mom
don't say that.
loved her. Well, your mom loved her
Oh.
more than you.
yeah, she did.
I mean,
This is pod lore. We're bringing the pod. This is from like several episodes ago, and we can't go off on a tangent because it's not even Christmas or
No.
Easter or whatever.
No, I said Bella to my mum the other day, and my mum genuinely got teary-eyed.
Oh my
And it's
god!
been
we
like-
can't.
It's been like
We
just
can't.
over a year, anyway.
but we love dogs. Sorry.
We do
She
love
was-
dogs.
I've got chat. She was very old.
Oh,
The thing is,
bless.
it wasn't a surprise.
No, she was. This might be too much, but you know
Oh my
when
god!
a dog is so old that you'd
Oh.
think they've stopped breathing,
No.
and it wasn't
No.
sad every time
We're
it
cutting
happened.
this out in
It was
post.
like relief. Anyway, that wasn't how she
I
went.
hate this.
Oh my
I
God.
hate this bit. I hate
And
this
by the way,
segment.
I hate this this segment sucks ass, and we are so
I
sorry,
hate this
Samoa.
pod.
Again, Samoa, we are so sorry.
Sorry that you've made me think about my mum's dead dog.
Oh my god!
I
And
blame England.
the thing is, none of this is as funny as Jasmine Joyce's dead dog story.
No,
It's not funny.
although Bella's ashes are in a cupboard under the telly, so. Maybe
And then we have to
what
go-
if I take them to Twickenham when I go to the final?
Oh my god! So first of all, I will call you English forever.
Bella was born in Wrexham, though.
Right? You're Welsh. She's Welsh. It has to go to the Prinny.
It does, but I'd have to go down there, and it's a long
Oh
journey.
my god!
I'm not paying Prinny
I'll
stat
do it for you.
prices.
Just post
Red
I'm there all
Roses.
the
I'll
time.
post a bit of
Red
Bella
Roses-
to you.
her over to me. in
Or should
Cardiff.
she
Come
go
over.
to Wrexham FC?
Was she a football fan? Was she a Ryan Reynolds fan?
No,
was
but
just
she
gonna
loved
say,
tennis
was
balls.
she-
Oh,
Did she
should
like
have
Always
Wimbledon.
Sunny in Philadelphia? Good show.
She was incredible.
wouldn't know.
Anyway, should we
Anyway,
move on from my
yes.
mum's dead dog? Right.
Unfortunately, the Red Roses played. They played fine. Honestly, you know what? While we're going, like everybody is turned off by now. I wasn't super impressed. They didn't really seem to do much. Okay. Honestly, and I've been dropping this bomb in our group chats anyway, so like I might as well just hear whatever. Honestly, so far, this isn't the Red Roses that we knew from like 2 or 3 years ago. Sorry. It's fine. They're gonna beat down Australia as well, probably less than what they think. But I think that they'll come into Australia super confident. Okay. Fine.
I think it will be
Um,
like 50-14 if I had to guess.
Yeah, you and Nikki.
I think
You and
I think
Nikki
something
as
like
well.
that. Australia are a bit up and down. I think.
Okay.
I mean, we'll
They're
talk
pissed
about
off.
that later.
They're pissed off. This is probably the game. Oh no, it's not the exit because they're going to quarterfinals anyway. So okay,
They might
yeah,
not.
never mind.
They haven't qualified.
They might not, no, because
Okay,
Spoilers.
when we go on to Julia Corner in the next segment, I'll tell you why they're going through. So yeah, I don't.
I mean,
I think Canada could beat the Red Roses that I saw in this match.
Yeah.
And I understand that they didn't even field. I know that they didn't field any of their best. Whatever. Okay. I'm not afraid of a lot of the people who weren't there. So
I think this game did kind of, in my opinion, solidified a couple of things. Like Meg Jones is definitely the option over Emily Scarrett, which we already kind of knew, but like there was
We knew
still
that.
quite a lot of chatter around
also,
it.
yeah, but also you'd hope. But
Yeah.
anyway, sorry, go on.
And then I also, in my opinion, and I am 100% splitting hairs here,
You are.
right? I am.
Go. I know what you're gonna
Go for
say,
it.
and I know what you're gonna say. I agree with you, and I think it's extremely stupid to say.
But I think it just kind of like solidified the England pecking order. Like,
All right, you're
it's
right.
for the
Say
wingers. And like, I know Jess
Everyone's
Breach scored
gonna
a
love
hat
it.
trick.
Everyone's
I
gonna
know
love
she
it.
did. Hattie's hot takes. This should be. Oh, hang on. Hattie's hot take.
Hold on,
Give me
we're
2
writing this
seconds.
down.
Give me
Hugh?
2 seconds.
You put a marker in this one. Hold on, I'm gonna do an emoji while you're doing it.
Yeah, that's what. Hattie's hot takes.
Damn it! All right, that was exactly what I was gonna do. For our audio listeners, our producers made an extreme error, which they're going to find out about when they listen to this. Made an extreme error of letting us know you can tell by the quality. We conduct this on Zoom because everything else pisses us off, and we're old. And now you can do emoji reacts to what people are saying, like you're in a work call, which this is. There we go. So now Sean has discovered it and is just spamming the poop emoji. Which we knew she would do immediately after telling her, so much so that in our pre-air chat, we did not tell Sean to try out the emojis because we knew it would happen.
I sent the poop emoji.
Hattie immediately sent me the
I'm
poop
so
emoji.
predictable.
I did the red flag emoji and made a joke about WRU.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a good one.
We usually don't have dead air. If you're hearing dead air, I want you to know
Sorry.
going forward in
We
these
should-
episodes, if you hear dead air, it's somebody looking for the poop emoji.
Anyway, back to Hattie's hot takes.
Hattie's
Boom.
hot take. All right, who is the better winger? Go.
It's Abby Dow.
Yeah, of
sorry
course
to
it's
Jess
Abby Dow.
Breach.
We
Like,
concur.
so
Friend
if
of the
I
pod, Jess Bridge.
well, she is. Her mum follows us on Twitter.
That's true. I know that. And also, I don't technically agree with Hattie. So go on.
So watching
I
that
love
match,
Showman Jess.
So watching that back, I was like, I've always had a few questions around Jess's finishing. I don't think she's a particularly good finisher.
You are also extremely partial to somebody else.
Yes. I don't think she's a particularly good finisher. She can't dive, which I find very weird.
And then she dove in this match just to
Yes,
make
she
you
did,
shut up.
yeah. But she doesn't do it very often. But I don't think her like spatial awareness is particularly like her awareness of where the touchline is particularly
That's
good. And the thing is, Jess Breach walks into every team pretty much on Earth, maybe apart from New Zealand. I think that's fair to say.
You think she walks on to Canada?
Maybe not Canada. But
Not
she
Canada now.
she walks into Wales, she walks into Scotland, Ireland.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Scotland might be difficult now, but we'll
Anyway.
talk about that in a sec.
But Abby Dow has incredible spatial awareness. She has an incredible finisher. And if
Yep.
I was to pick an England back three for the final, I would go with Ellie Kildunn on one wing, Abby Dow on the other. I would have Emma Singh at fullback, and I would put Claudia on the bench.
No.
I don't
No
disagree with
EK at
that.
15? No EK at 15?
No on the wing.
Why?
Because I think you need her there, because she is a great finisher. She does have incredible
Yes.
speed.
Absolutely.
However, I think that if Holly Aitchison is available, she should be at 10.
Oh, yeah.
But her kicking is not as good, which is why you need Emma Singh to goal kick. And I also think Emma Singh is better in the backfield.
Is this all like a roundabout way of saying that you do not think Zoe Harrison should be in the squad?
No, I just think so when you put
Nobody except me agrees with you that Aitchison over Harrison. I agree
So
with you. Nobody else does.
I think the
I
only
agree.
reason why people say that is because Holly Aitchison is not a particularly good goal kicker, whereas Zoe Harrison is
kicking,
better.
yeah.
Zoe Harrison
Absolutely.
is still not the best goal kicker. But I think
And then
if
unfortunately,
you've got Emma Singh to goal kick, that no longer becomes an issue with your tens, and therefore I pick Holly Aitchison.
us three agree with this, but no Red Roses.
No, we're going to have very angry comments.
Would you say, because I agree, I totally agree with that, but Ellie Kildun, would she just slot into winger? Like,
yeah,
she's played fullback now for quite a while, isn't she? Would she just slot into the wing?
Is like,
I don't know, like, they do it to Jazz all the time, and I never think it's actually very good for her.
I don't think Ellie Kildun plays fullback as a fullback. She plays it as just a third winger.
I kind of know what you mean. I do know what you mean. Yeah,
I guess like I know we love to, but like I know a bit of game. I would say her field reading is pretty good.
It is good.
Defense.
It is good. It is good.
Emma Singh is better.
I agree.
Ellie is faster, isn't she?
Yes.
That's so the thing is that I will say this about Emma Singh. Obviously I'm a big Emma Singh fan as well. I agree that she brings those things to the table. The speed isn't there. And is not a try scorer.
Although she scored a try in this game, I think.
She scored some really good tries for Gloucester.
For Gloucester, I agree. So that was where I was going to go with it. Was I feel like we are also a little bit conflating these players with their club performances and with the Red Roses performance, even though we've talked before about how sometimes coming into Red Roses camp makes you a different player.
That's also a fair point.
But I'd also say that Emma Singh hasn't had a fair crack of the whip at Red Roses.
I agree. No,
but
that's absolutely true.
They're just complete opposites at fullback.
Yes.
But
they're very different players.
Yeah, and I think Ellie Kildun is a great player to have when it's going to be a walkover and you just need somebody to score extra tries and you need a third winger. If you're going up against one of the other big four, you need a proper fullback.
I agree.
And with that, we move on to New Zealand versus Japan.
Good one to do for.
Yeah. 62-19. What were your guys' favourite moments? Did we skip over
Scotland, Fiji? Scotland,
Fiji? That goes later.
Oh, I was just going in the order that they. Whatever. Sorry.
I sent you a document.
I know, and now I realize. I realize what I did, and cut that
honestly,
out,
guys. Honestly, guys, I'm organised, and Julia,
you are. It's my fault.
You are, yes.
It is your fault.
So it's kind of a weird game. Is this me or was this a bit of a weird game?
Yeah, I think
this is our second week that we have said that Japan has had a weird game.
It is, isn't it? And I mean, like, obviously Japan scoring first was like, whoa. Like, no one really
whatever. That was awesome. That was awesome.
It was great. It was such a good time.
I went nuts.
But even weirder was the fact that their fly half knocked out their fullback within the first minute.
Hattie knows game like very few people I've ever met. However, the one thing I've realized being Hattie's friend is her favorite thing is one weird thing. One weird thing in a rugby game. She's like, I love a weird thing.
I love when something really strange happens.
Yeah.
Then
it becomes the only thing she remembers.
If you ask me about this match in 6 months' time, I will not remember.
When she got gonked right out.
and it won't be like the double yellow. It won't be like all the knock-ons. It won't be like the
dub.
Yeah, it won't be any of that, right?
Breaking the record,
fact that the Japanese fly half knocked out her own fullback in the first minute.
And if I had to play either position, I would probably have that error too. So, it happens to everybody.
But I feel like that set the tone for the rest of the match because it was just a bit weird. And it was weird on both sides.
Yeah.
What was this one of the ones you were at, Hattie?
No, I watched it back earlier on.
Oh no, okay, so they were in Exeter then. It must have been.
Yes.
Friend of the pod, Women's Rugby Show was there. I was talking to him. So it wasn't weather.
Maybe they were nervous because the princess was there.
Wouldn't you want to perform
Japanese
really well,
princess.
though? You would want
Not
to.
if it was Kate Middleton, but if it's the Japanese princess, I would.
Is Kate Middleton the Princess of Wales? Oh, I guess so.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, she is. There's only one true
Ugh,
princess
what
of
a
Wales,
dud.
Diana.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Alex Callender.
Oh no, she's the Queen of Wales. Obs.
What you really need to take from this episode is that for some reason, my two Welsh co-hosts, who I usually agree with all the time, loves monarchy.
Oh no,
No.
no, no.
I love Diana.
I'm just riling you up.
No. So I only really like members of the monarchy that the monarchy don't like.
Yes. Okay. Rock
I love
on.
Diana.
The same way,
I have all the Diana shit.
the same way that the only Biden I like is Hunter. Absolutely.
Yeah, like I'm very much obsessed with Anne Boleyn.
Oh,
Of
nice.
course you are.
Good shout.
You dork. Oh my
Um,
god. And it's not even a recent one.
No, so I love Anne Boleyn. Big fan. And
You
then
lose your head over.
Yeah, literally.
Boom.
And then Diana, Harry, Meghan, love them.
Love Diana.
Yeah.
Yeah, queens.
It's easy.
Well,
It's
not
easy to love
queens.
the ones that are gone. The ones that didn't do anything problematic. Kind of. Except for wasn't her whole thing when she was alive that she was constantly problematic? It's fine.
Yeah, but she had an
So
affair with a
inappropriate.
rugby player. Anyway,
I
moving
know.
on.
She
Who
did.
among us?
Yeah.
Who among us?
We've all
Used to
been
go
there.
to-
We've all been there.
Anyway,
I would say 62-19 was quite positive for Secura 15s.
Honestly, that was
I
where I
think
wanted
so.
to end with. That was if I'm Japan, I'm happy with that. Their coach said the same thing. Their coach, who I'm very impressed with.
Weirdest accent of all time.
yes.
She's Scottish and Canadian, is
I think
She's Canadian, but has spent a lot of time in New Zealand.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Yeah. It's seeing into the future of Maggie Kagawa.
It was very weird. Yeah.
What do you
nope.
two think of the Black Ferns? Because I'm still not sure.
So, and this is gonna get the like we joke all the time, but like this is definitely gonna make people upset. I am not impressed yet. You have Portia Woodman-Wycliffe, absolutely. The GOAT, undeniable. Nobody is denying that. Oh my God, please don't at me. However, I don't think the 2021 played in 2022 New Zealand would have 19 put on them by Japan.
No. I don't think that the really terrible era of the Black Ferns, like 2020, 2021, when they got absolutely smashed by England
Sure,
and France, would have 19 put on them by Japan either.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm thinking of the wrong era, but I'm talking about New Zealand when they have been at their strongest. They
Yeah,
still
which
won
was
the World Cup,
2022.
right?
They went from really, really bad to really, really good.
Okay,
in like
I
a
was
year.
like, they still won the World Cup.
Yeah, but the year before they lost, they had their record losses. That's
Yeah.
the point I'm thinking of.
Right, but I think that honestly that speaks to the point, and I know that you're not disagreeing with me either. I believe, and I say this only because obviously I went hard on England. It's very exciting to us, especially. I don't see a team, including New Zealand, including England, that are infallible anymore. That's really exciting to me. I will say, I understand that you realized that you were facing Japan. You didn't really care about the points differential here. You don't need to. Understandable. Be safe. However, even from the like consummate performers, even the people that you usually rely on, I wouldn't say brought their A game. And again, I understand if you didn't for tactical reasons, but at the World Cup, give it a go.
I think the thing to be clear on is like the reason why we're so hard on the likes of England, New Zealand, France is that they are so much better than everybody else. Like let's just be clear.
Yeah,
Like
you-
there is
We have very high
You've earned this
expectations.
scrutiny.
we
You've
have
earned the scrutiny.
extreme expectations of them, and so when we talk about them, we don't want to be like the happy clappy women's sports podcast that's just like everything's positive and everything's great. We are actually going to discuss them as they are a sports team and point out that there are flaws, and these are the flaws that are going to be exploited when they face each other. Because I think in the last World Cup, people looked at England and they were like, they're infallible, nobody would ever do it.
Exactly.
And then when it came to the final and they lost, people were absolutely torn apart by it and so surprised. And this is why we're kind of discussing it in the way that we are, and we're saying like, look, this is an issue, because it is an issue and people need to talk about it. And I just think New Zealand aren't as polished as they should be. Their discipline maybe isn't as good. They had a double yellow in this match.
It's the discipline,
which was both of those offences were pointless.
Neither resulted in anything, by the way, which even and I will say this for New Zealand, generally not a super disciplined, questionable team. Of course, everybody has bad days, but it's not generally one that you worry about. But to do it for something stupid.
Yeah, I know.
Decision making. Which by the way, and so I'm glad that Hattie just made that point, because I realize now that it's a thing that we do, but we never really explained it, and it's because we talk to you guys like we assume that you're on the level, because that's a respectful thing you do, and we feel that when you are talking about women and women's sports, it's not positive all the time. People have bad days. If you pretend that they don't, it's patronizing. Mm-hmm. That same coin, like, they are looking at themselves that way. And so I would hope that that's something that they're looking at, because if you are playing it loose on a game that isn't really that important, you start bad habits, I guess. Yeah. I found a really roundabout way of getting there. But your team, and this is a positive for New Zealand, your team is not all older players. This isn't a team that's going to have high turnover after the World Cup. So you are training people to perform in a World Cup a certain way. Why start that way? Mm-hmm. I think of the Caitlin Vahakolos. I think of the Braxton Sorensen McGee's. They have potential to also be Portia Woodman-Wycliffe's is the thing.
Yeah. Portia Woodman has broken the record. She scored.
Oh, we should say that happened.
Yeah, she scored 50 tries for New Zealand
and 51.
In only 30 caps. So when you look at the likes of Caitlin Vahakolo, when you look at the likes of Braxton Sorensen McGee, they're going to have more caps than Portia.
Yeah,
they're going to have. I don't think there's been a New Zealand player who's hit 100 yet. There's going to one of these New Zealand players that are in the current lineup is going to hit 100.
Absolutely,
that is just a fact. And so when you look at that, the try scoring is going to go through the roof. Her record's going to be beaten. Yeah. You look at Caitlin Vahakolo and her try scoring rate as it is. You look at Braxton Sorensen McGee and her try scoring rate. It's just going to.
I didn't know that Braxton kicked, by the way, which is a new scary thing that I now know.
I reckon Georgia Miller might score a few more for the.
Yeah,
she's an insane player. She's so good.
She was incredible.
She is such a good player.
I will say as well, like a lot of the kind of like, just to go back to like the fast and loose that they were kind of playing with, and like the knock-ons and whatever. Like it kind of felt like it was the older players and not the new ones.
I thought that.
Yeah.
I thought that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were. Yeah. I think they were just more enforced errors than I was expecting to see. And it does make you just feel. I think
I should have just said it that way.
Yeah, Hattie nailed it. I think it's the polish. They're lacking a bit of polish at the moment. And I said it in the last pod. I feel like they've got so many more gears to go to. Whether they're going to get there, I don't know. Ireland might be the game where they finally get a bit more of a test. So
I feel like. Remember the last team to beat them was Ireland, I believe. Yeah. Oh no, Canada.
Yeah.
Canada has also beaten them.
Canada drew with them.
Canada drew
at WXV.
I think it is Ireland. I think it's
Ireland.
Yeah. I think that's going to be a massive game, because I think the Black Ferns are going to be gunning for Ireland.
And I wouldn't be
Ireland
surprised.
Has laser sights on them.
I wouldn't be surprised if New Zealand, because we know from WXV last year that New Zealand did not prep for the Ireland game. but they
Yes.
prepped for the other games. I would not be surprised if they basically didn't prep for these first 2 games and only prepped for Ireland in the group stage, and have then have like tried to map out who they're going to face in the other games and have prepped for those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I think their key aim right now is Ireland.
Yeah.
And I mean,
They
Ireland
were
are
embarrassed.
Ireland were
Yeah.
qualified. They have absolutely nothing to lose. Well, actually, I take that back. They have a lot to lose.
I disagree.
In this. No. I completely, I didn't think that through. They have a lot to lose. I'm very curious we have to talk about Ireland's performance in Spain. I'm curious, the implications of playing New Zealand next. And I only say that because on the back of what Sean said, the preparation's going to need to be different.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means yet. I'm curious what we see throughout the week, but fortunately, both of those teams are prolific socials posters, and we will get to see what they're doing.
Latvians have the best socials. Sorry.
Yeah.
Have you guys, this is slightly off topic, have you guys seen the Black Ferns bucket hat?
Yes.
The tie-dye one. It's orange and
No.
purple.
Oh.
What? No. What?
This is to Sean's interests.
It's a bucket hat, says Black Ferns on it, and it's like purple and orange tie-dye. It matches their training tops, but it's a bucket
I was
hat.
gonna say it's
training
got to be
tops.
that new. It's got to be
Yeah.
the new training top.
It's sick. I found it on is it Fanatics, the terrible
Yeah.
website? Yeah.
Fanatics.
They have a eBay where they have all of the stuff that is really difficult
cool.
to find on their normal website, and they had it on there. I found it the other day. And finally, before we watched it off, as I was writing this, I discovered that the World Rugby website has an AI insights page for every match instead of writing a match report.
Great.
If
And
you think this is stupid and the sign of downhill quality in rugby journalism, you should tell World Rugby too, because we do all the time. I at them all the time. My job is in a slow season right now. I am constantly just bullying World Rugby. And if you guys know me from old podcasts that I've done or whatever, my staunch belief is that bullying in rugby works. Everybody should be doing it. And it's really disgusting that AI is creeping into our beautiful sport.
They used to before, remember with that
Yeah.
thing with Hannah Jones?
yeah,
Thank
so
you.
the 3 of us bullied World Rugby so badly on an Instagram
took the
post
post
that they
down.
took the post down.
That was our greatest achievement.
It was.
It
I was
was.
gonna say it was
I'm
also
proud.
all within like 90 seconds of each other, and we had not even talked about it yet.
No, and we just absolutely took them apart, and it was down within like 50 minutes. It was.
If you are also sick of those piss tinted AI images that well, right now it's just clubs. World Rugby is probably prepping. You should tell them, because that's lazy, and you could just hire a journalist or a graphic designer.
And it's just full of incorrect things.
Also, it's wrong half the time. It hallucinates. I tell this story only because
Sorry, you carry on.
oh yeah, only because like I was explaining to somebody who was neither an AI skeptic nor like enthusiast, just somebody who was like, oh, I know all about it, and like it's crazy what people don't know. This person is a very highly educated person and like thought that it ran on oil instead of water. I was like, oh no, it's worse. But I was also explaining that like the one time I ever tried ChatGPT when it first came out, everybody was having a lot of fun in the rugby world. And so I was like, all right, everybody's like, it was Squidge and everybody was like asking it about men's rugby. And I was like, I want to see what I can pull about women's rugby. So I asked it to pull me the top 20 player, like I asked it to compose for me like a world best of team, and it invented people, just invented them. They weren't real people. And it came up with some names and like nationalities of it. It came up with a New Zealander who didn't exist. I was like, I would like to become her biggest fan.
Yeah.
I need to do this.
I would
Don't
really like to, and I'm not going to because I've got too many Twitter accounts that I'm already running, but I would love to set up a Twitter account that's like a
AI
fake.
fails.
No, oh, so much worse. I would like to set up a fake World Rugby account, right? And just tweet incorrect shit so that Grok picks
No
it
one
up.
notices the difference.
Yes, it feeds Grok.
So it would feed Grok, and Grok would then like
Tell other people that.
Yeah, so I would come up with like random shit, and then I could tweet like something, right?
Did
And then-
XYZ happen?
And then I'd be like, at Grok, is this true?
Yeah.
And then Grok would come back and quote the bad post that
You.
Yes, Wales
my
have won
God.
45 World
I was
Cups.
just gonna say, yes, Wales are doing well in their World Cup berth.
Yeah. So this is the things that I think of at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Just so everyone is aware. And this is also why Julia says that I'm the most chaotic person she knows. Yeah. Anyway, France versus Brazil, 84-5. We're going to ignore the 84 and talk about the 5 because that was more exciting.
Oh my God, it was such a good try.
It was so good.
It was a really beautiful try. So in true Brazil fashion, when they do something, I do think that we said it as well at the time, and this was before even all the matches. I think it wasn't the last match of the weekend. Was it the last match? Oh, it was. But still, one of the tries of the weekend, if not
dummy. I personally
was nasty. And by the way, France fully gave chase. PBS ran her all the way down and was like, God damn.
Nobody from France could catch her at all.
I do think that probably PBS's thought process was, she was like, it's Brazil, I could do it or whatever. completely forgetting that Bianca Silva has been in 3 Olympics.
Yeah.
Most of the Brazil backline has been to the Olympics.
Yes. 3 times. They debuted in Rio when they hosted it and have not missed out since.
They are quick. So yeah,
I feel that
Brazil, dummy was just filthy.
It was ridiculous.
The cameraman bought it, I bought it, everybody else bought it. I thought she'd actually passed it, and I was like, why is she still running? It's so fun
when the cameraman falls for it.
It was
when this is about the Spain game, but on Sunday I went to the Spain Ireland game and I was sat next to the one and only Hugh Griffin Rugby, and we were watching and somebody from Spain threw a dummy and me and Hugh both believed it and were like looking at the right pitch.
I love it.
I think Brazil does what what rugby fans in general want to see a team that doesn't naturally have the size. And by the way, I would also like to say, like, it is true, and especially it didn't help that the last time we saw Brazil was against South Africa. But Brazil's forwards aren't tiny, necessarily. The fitness isn't there. That's going to be a different thing, and we've talked at length about fitness today. But Brazil, yes, there's a different conversation that we can have about integrating your 7s into 15s. Brazil is not the one that we should be talking about for it, because that player pool is completely different. The development of rugby is completely different. What they have done well is pick the 7s players that they knew that they could convert the best, or in the case of Bianca Silva, she has been playing both 15s and 7s, and developing the skills that they have to do what they can do best with. And that is why we have seen so many impressive Brazilian backs. And I say this because there are some teams in this tournament that we see that the backs have talent potential and have been, I hate to say it again, but Wales is an example, completely squandered any little hint of talent. Maybe it's miscoaching, maybe it's mismanagement with their strength or conditioning. I don't know which, but Brazil has seen it and been like, we know what works. We're going to take aspects of that game, and you can see it if you watch them play 15s versus watching them play 7s. And they were like, we're going to jam that in. And that's why Brazilian rugby doesn't look exactly like European rugby. Yeah, I think that's good. I think it's good, and I wish people would watch it.
And
it's utilizing your strengths, isn't it?
It's utilizing your strengths,
which is what Wales don't do, I believe.
Well, I was going to say it's exactly what Eleanor Snowsell said just this past weekend. A big team isn't doing, and I think that lessons can be learned. And I've said this before about other topics. Lessons can be learned by nations that perhaps you wouldn't consider your rugby better. But if you could get over that, the same way as if you can get over racism or sexism or whatever, you can learn a lot. I feel like Brazil is that one. Sorry. It was very inspiring to me. It's really hopeful for especially us embittered rugby fans, that could still happen. There can still be innovation. It just might not come from England. It might not come from New Zealand.
Yeah. It's not going to come from a country that you're expecting. It's going to come from a country
exactly.
that, innovation comes from a place
Squid-
of difficulty
Squid-
and a place of problem, and it's problem solving. And Brazil had a problem and they've solved it. Canada have had
Yeah.
problems and they've solved it.
I was just gonna say
Exactly.
they just put out a video. Squids just put out a video about why Canada is the most innovative team playing right now, and I completely agree. And it was because in a vacuum, make it up.
So, yeah. And just to finish off, I'm quickly going to point out something that if you are a long-time listener, you will have known that we talked about it frequently during the Six Nations. But PBS was back after serving her ban. France played a lot better than they did the week before. However,
Surprising.
after she came off, I want to say at 65 minutes, the time she normally comes off, production went through the floor again.
Yep.
And so
Hashtag
they
standard.
were,
I think it might be. I think that might be a conclusion
yeah.
that we can draw now.
Yep.
So they were on track to have their largest ever win. So their largest ever win is 99-0 against Japan in 1994. And they were on track to smash that. They were on like a ridiculous amount at 50 minutes, which is when I like tweeted it out. But PBS came off and I think they scored like one try after. And she was off for like 15, 20 minutes.
At the same
It's
time,
too much of a coincidence now, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. And at the same time, unfortunately, especially looking forward, that's exactly what I would have done. For France, we in fact, just to say, oh no, I don't think the poll is still open. Is our poll still open about whether you should rest coming up for?
No, but I have it as a question later on.
Oh, okay. Then we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Moving on, we've got Julia's favourite time, Julia's Corner, USA versus Australia. We said it was going to be the game of the weekend and that it was going to be close. And guess what?
And wasn't it?
After criticism over large gaps in the quality of play, we literally did see a game that couldn't be any closer. Julia time. Hit it.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to say that we said that USA Australia would be. We said it would be South
We
Africa,
said it was
Italy,
going to be
which-
close.
Which it also really was. Both of those were absolutely the games of the weekend. I'm super stoked. So yeah, let's talk very briefly about USA Australia. First of all, what an even match, what an exciting match. I am very happy with everything that we saw from both teams. Obviously, I have more to say about USA than Australia, but I would really like to start off with Australia to make sure that we don't gloss over it. I was quite happy with that. I think Joe Yap was quite happy with that. No, I should go back. They're really not happy. They expected a win. To be fair, I also expected them to win. I'm going to be completely honest. On paper, all of the metrics favored Australia. I think overall, like, and overall, if I were just asked as a rugby fan, you didn't tell me which team was which, you just showed me their stats and you showed me them play and I couldn't see their shirts or whatever. I would say that Australia had a better game. It was tighter and it was more consistent. However, what ended up bringing the draw is something that I use as an advertising chip for anybody when I'm talking to them about why to get into USA Rugby. It's a really exciting team, and we have some aspects that we were just praising Canada for. USA is another team that we definitely, nothing about America is in a vacuum, but comparatively in terms of our development, and we've talked about it at length, I won't go on about it again, but we developed with Canada separately from European rugby, separately from Australia, New Zealand, South Africa rugby. And because of that, you can pull out things that are surprising. And I will say most of the time that we ended up scoring or pulling something over on Australia, it was because it was something that wasn't expected. Really can't recommend that enough. Surprise still exists in rugby. Everything doesn't have to be formulaic all the time. It would be nice if it was, because then it wouldn't have had me shitting bricks the whole time, which I was. But that said,
Julia just kept messaging pain. Oh my god,
Pain.
I'm going to end it. I'm done.
Pain.
Please stop.
Pain.
I mean,
Oh
to
my
be fair,
gosh.
that's the kind of thing we say when we're watching Wales.
I was gonna say I won't air you guys out, but you also watched Wales and I was present.
I
that
literally
said,
sent you a photo of some stairs the other day whilst
You
watching
did.
Wales play. Yeah.
you did, yeah, and you were thinking about it. So looking closer at USA, I have seen some improvement, and I will just say this. I'm also going to be doing Wall Street Journal later today. We're going to be diving, if you are curious about USA performance, I'm going to dive way more into some of these points there. So I won't drag it out here. We had some really great performances from some people that we really wanted to see good performances out of. I just wanted to highlight Frida Tafuna, first of all, woman of the match,
Yes.
amazing performance. Kiamai Sagapolu, also great
Yes.
performance.
Yes.
Something you have all been waiting for. Alona had a great game. Really happy with that performance. I will say, not to belabor anything, that was what we said she could reach. What she did was the potential that she has, and none of us have ever argued that. The frustration has been not meeting it, perhaps not taking training that seriously. I don't know what it is, but having been in this camp has been really helpful. Especially having the shakeup of Alev not being there, which I still maintain at the end of the day, I don't think was the best decision possible. But after the fact, we now know that there was a bit of a shakeup in the back line in general because Below Metai is injured. We didn't know for sure before. We do know for sure now that it's not going to be an able to be overcome injury. Tess Fury is coming in, which if you are a longtime listener of this or my other pod, I'm a huge Tess Fury fan. Unfortunately, I got excited before realizing that we only have one match left at all, and it's Semwa. Even still, Tess, I'm stoked you're coming. Brings a wealth of experience, really level head. I love the way she thinks about rugby. I'm really sad that there won't be more matches for her. But I'm hoping that it sticks in the mic.
Can I bring a different perspective?
Please.
As the pod's resident positivity person.
Oh, I was worried that you're going to tell me to calm it down. Go on.
No. So this is kind of a review / preview about the USA. So I felt that the USA versus Australia, the main difference for me was the personality and the heart that the USA have versus Australia.
Absolutely.
So Australia went out and they played the game that they were told to play.
Yes.
The USA went out and they played the game that was in front of them, and they had the belief that they could do it, and they were pragmatic. The USA know that they have got an easier next game. Australia do not have an easy next game. They have their hardest game of the whole competition.
Yep.
The USA get to go out against the second worst team in the competition as their next game.
A little bit of wind at the back, for sure.
Yeah, I don't necessarily... I felt it at the time that Lottie Sharp's decision to kick the ball out was a bit weird.
Everybody said.
Yeah, it just felt weird.
Yep. I don't think that she belongs at 15, but we've talked about that already. Go on.
But I think going into the next game, with the USA having the belief that, hey, we've just got to score a boatload of tries against one of the worst defenses in the competition.
Yep. I think
they can still do it.
I think they can do it.
So just to lay out the groundwork here, and actually my math might not be 100%, which is why I have the co-hosts that I have. I believe the situation is Australia must lose, not get a bonus point, and USA must score 136 points. I'm pretty sure, or is it one or the other?
No, so it would basically, so you've got to also factor in that Australia their points difference is going to sink.
It's going to go lower. Right.
Yeah. So at the moment, Australia are positive 73. So
Right.
in theory, if the USA got a bonus point and they won by, say, 63 and Australia lost by 73, then the USA are through.
It could happen. It still could happen.
I think it's all so up in the air.
Yes, agreed.
I think
It is. Okay, so my fear isn't that we can't score 163 or 136 points or whatever. I think that we can. That's not my concern. My thing is, and I'm really hoping that I'm being too careful. The friend that's too woke, but the friend that's too careful. I just don't think the Red Roses are going to beat down Australia. I think Australia are going to be mad. I think it's a chance that it's a chance that it's their last game. Probably not, but Joe Yap isn't going to they aren't going to train this week saying like we're definitely through. They're not going to do that. It's unsafe to do that. And they're not stupid.
I think that the best
it could
team-
happen.
I think
the math
best,
is there. It could happen.
The maths is there. I think the best team you can compare Australia to is Scotland. Scotland versus
Yes,
Australia
absolutely.
was very, very tough in WXV last year. Their matchups was quite close from what I remember. And on top of that, they've got quite similar squads in that they've got really good backs. However, England make Scotland look like tiny little pathetic ants.
That's true.
So
that's true. I know. All right. I mean,
it could happen,
right.
basically.
I honestly, right now, I feel more confident than I did like literally 5 minutes ago. Absolutely.
And I have two further points before I finish, because I'm going to keep going, because I'm going to have the heart and the belief.
Please, I want to.
Number one, Ricky J.
I
don't know what she's been eating. Marriage is great for her.
Married life is killing it for you. No, it really is. It's just that we're in Babe's country. We gotta like make it look good.
Yeah. Secondly, I don't know if you spotted, but there was like a part in the game where they were chasing a kick. USA were chasing a kick, and do you want to know who the fastest chaser was?
Was it Ricky?
No.
Was it Olivia Ortiz?
It was Kate Zachary.
Hell yeah!
Yes.
Hell yeah!
Yeah.
If your like late 30s flanker is absolutely outrunning
Captain America,
19-year-old wingers, you're onto a winner. So
yeah, but I think that do you know what though? I think that kind of sums up USA. That night.
I was just gonna say that really proves that really like speaks to what Hattie said, that it was just very much like that was USA. If USA
it was the heart, and it was
gonna
the
say
courage, the tenacity.
if we spoke Welsh, that's the Calon. That's the Calon you want, Wales.
Oil.
It's
either
very
that
much
or American exceptionalism.
No.
It's really weird because I had to watch the game on.
No, other things are happening right now.
I built up, Julia. I have to knock her back down.
To knock me. That is extremely the UK talking to the US. Don't worry, we still feel like shit. And if I do start feeling too good, all I have to do is go on Twitter and not look at rugby stuff, and everything else is terrible.
Yeah, apparently Donald Trump's still alive. It's quite sad, really.
Still alive. I was just going to say, it didn't occur to me, like, I'm talking like it's live. It's not live. We're recording on the day that Donald Trump was going to make an announcement, and everyone was hoping that he was dead, but it was actually just that he's moving Space Command to Alabama because he's mad at Colorado. It's a little USA lore for you. It's extremely stupid. It's going to upend a lot of lives. Just Donald Trump things. Not political podcast. When I veer this way on Wall Street Journal, the one where I could do it, they're like, no.
Well, I'm gonna say it.
Not
clots and prayers,
land.
ladies. Clots and prayers.
Clots and prayers.
And with that,
your lips to God ears.
Our favourite game of the weekend, Italy versus South Africa. First of all,
what a fucking game!
I'm going to say thank you and welcome to all of our new South African listeners.
South Africans, you're gonna like our podcast.
We love South Africa.
Oh my God, I think
they're now my favorite team.
I really like. I did not expect this, and you know what? Just because we should get it out of the way for now. The biggest surprise, other than the team itself and all the heart that they have, nothing to take away from that. But I will say this as a woman who has been on rugby Twitter and rugby social media a long time. And a person who's been in rugby a long time, and for a long time, my team hasn't been very good, so I have had to dabble into other teams. I know about the South African fans. Hello, South African fans. I know, but that's the Bok men, and I hope I'm not wrong. I think this is going to be different. If you are coming over to the women's game from the men's game, just so you know, that kind of stuff doesn't happen in women's rugby. Don't bring that to our socials, but you're going to love us as fans. You're going to love the kind of heart that we bring, how much we love this sport, how much we love the women who play it. And I am completely enamored with the South Africa team. They're all my close personal best friends. Everything they do makes me cry a little. Libby Janssen von Rensburg. If you were American, they would be putting you on the college commencement speech circuit immediately. You were so inspiring. The video of her and Cindy together after, I've watched a million times. Every time I see it on a different social service. I
just love them.
I know.
Yeah, me too.
And I want
love
them
how
to
they play.
understand that the only reason that we aren't saying like I want them to win the World Cup is because like we are worried about like what that would mean for us on social media.
I just love them, and
They play rugby. I just love how they play. Like they've got really strong forwards. They've got
I was
players
just
like
gonna say,
LA. Like, and then they've got really good backs. They score really good back tries. They've just got the whole package.
I understand what. So watching this now, since I don't watch a lot of men's rugby, watching this now, I'm just like, that looks like a country that fucking loves rugby.
well,
They
I think
love playing rugby.
the thing that I really enjoy about the women's box is that they have got that traditional expected forward pack of being
Yes.
utterly dominant. Their defense
And
is
they're
dominant. Their
destroyers.
set piece
They're
is dominant.
destroyers.
Their carrying is insane. I think when I went to the South Africa game, not this week, the week before, I remember like texting you guys and being like, I never want to have to tackle Hele or
No.
be in a ruck with her. Like I
mean,
She
their
is
front row
brilliant.
is as intimidating as the men's box.
and again, they have at least 2 front rows.
Yes. Which is really exciting if you're a fan of the game at all. It's very frightening if you're just a fan of one team and your team has to play them. And then also, like, sorry, I am going to steal the thunder just because I have to, but I think Nadine Roos is probably going to be in the conversation for Player of the Year.
Yeah, I was literally about to say they have that that forward pack, but they have innovative backs. They have backs like
several.
They have several that click really well. That yes, it's not just like speed, which we're used to seeing from South Africa as a dominant forward pack and the speedy backs. They have got backs that are incredibly innovative, have incredible vision. But just, yeah, Roos is absolutely going to be team of the year, if not nominated.
I think Ruiz is going to be the best scrum half in the world.
Yeah. I mean, it's frightening. I really do. Well, and you know, not to harp on just one player, but Roos especially. At first, I was kind of laughing and joking about it. I know we keep mentioning him. Popular day for you, Hugh. But our friend Hugh had a fantastic interview with Swice de Bruin. Please go look it up. There was a ton of insight in there. And honestly, having that as the backdrop watching this game, I understood a lot more. But the one thing that I remember from his interview was the way he talked about Roos. He was like, I personally would play her at 9, 10, or 15. She played all 3 in this match.
Yes.
I watched.
Started at 15. She was playing in at 10, and then finished the game of scrum half.
She was feeding the scrum. She was feeding the scrum by like 60 minutes.
She's
was in there as well. Yeah,
I think she's so good.
Has a boot, incredibly fast. Small and blonde, which is required in women's rugby to be a scrum half.
Required as a South African scrum half.
Oh no, just a scrum half.
Particularly for South Africa.
Yeah, Mo Hunt,
Mo Hunt, Kira Bevan. I mean, PBS is a redhead. We're going to count it.
Sorry, guys. Do you think so? You know, Faf de Klerk has his L'Oreal or whatever adverts. His hair care line. Yeah. Do you think Nadine will join him?
Probably.
Do you think she will take over as that hair care line spokesperson?
So, I mean, Pauline Bourdon-Sassoux got the Volvic with Antoine. Why not?
Yeah. And they're like weird acupuncture line.
So here's the question. First of all, does Walesmen have a good scrum half at all? I don't know if they do.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Would he and KB, what product should they be on?
Well, I think he's had a hair transplant, so not shampoo.
Yeah, probably not shampoo. Probably not for either of them. Does he have tattoos?
No.
I don't think he does. It's Thomas. He plays for Gloucester.
Oh, right. Thomas, right. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. Yeah. Guess it's not Bears either. It's fine.
An advert for Welsh rugby, club rugby, is in the toilet, and therefore good Welsh players have to play over the bridge.
Who Actually, you know what?
I'm
What is
joking.
the most?
I'm
what is
joking.
Oh, no! I was already past that. They should, however, be spokespeople for a toilet company
Yeah.
Yeah.
or the plumbing
We're gonna have to have this cut out. I think.
Oh
I
my
think
God.
this is the last
Oh
ever
my God.
episode of Women's
This is
Rugby
gonna be-
Treehouse.
This is gonna be one of the things that Hugh texts me separately, and he's like, "You almost got canceled," because that happens like once every other episode. He's like, "You said something that's gonna make people a lot mad." He says a lot mad. And he's always right.
Yeah. We'd like to point out that we have an incredibly dark sense of humor.
Oh my God.
And we can't help it. This is how
Can
we
I-
cope.
Well, I was just gonna say that they're Welsh. Like they understand pain, and you understand it when I
Oh,
text
okay.
you
I
pain
wonder where you're
3 times
going
in
with
a
that
row.
then.
No, everybody, including our producers, want me to stop making Welsh cultural jokes, so I'm stopping.
But I'd also say, like, behind the scenes, South Africa have had some stuff
Oh
going
yeah,
on
also
recently.
have done everything right.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
going to go with like
Oh.
a bit of sad news that I don't know if
Oh.
this is like pushing them forward, but I don't know if you guys have seen, but a former Springboks prop passed away a couple of weeks ago in childbirth. Daphne Schweepers, I believe, or Sheppers, her last name. I apologise, I'm not quite sure on the pronunciation. There is like a fundraiser for her family, but I believe it's not the first time this has happened to a Springbok women's player passing away in childbirth.
That's so sad.
But I don't know, like, this is the type of thing that, like, you know, her former teammates are now playing the World Cup. This is the type of thing that, like, unfortunately brings you closer and
It does.
works
And
together.
actually, you know what? That really speaks to something to bring it back down, and only because we've mentioned friend of the you guys and hopefully one day me, Elma Smith, who is South African, prolific rugby presenter in general, but obviously a giant proponent of the women's box, and she put out a reel. I'm not sure if it was right after she had watched it or if it was later after she had some time to think, but she was speaking eloquently, as always, about how one of the most dangerous things to be in South Africa is a woman. And it's for several reasons. She was talking in this case about gender-based violence, but actually maternal health is another thing that people deal with across the board. On the, we have this the story of this former Springbok passing. And then, in kind of sunrise, sunset fashion, we also recently had the French media finally interviewing a French player about being a mother, talking to Pauline Bourdon-Sassou. I'm glad that they went with her. Unfortunately, while we're talking about sad news, incredible that Agatha Sochat, now Garen, but Sochat to all of us. I doubt that you guys watch our pod, but our thoughts are absolutely with you. That was another story of maternal health still being something that we face as women, in sport or not. It's wonderful that there can be the Abby Wards and Alicia Butchers of the world who are having happy, healthy pregnancies. Still not always the case. These are still women, and these stories matter. So I'm really glad that they're out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Elma Schmidt's post on the South Africa win, it does kind of like bring into perspective, like,
Yeah, it does.
you know, it's not the same as, I know, England winning a
New
game,
Zealand.
or even, I was going to say the USA, but, you know, Canada winning a game. You know, that they do face a level of sexism that other countries don't. And it's really important, not just, you know, in terms of sport, but outside of sport, and what a successful women's team can do, especially in the national sport.
So I was going to say South Africa is an especially important one to highlight because, and Elma touched on this as well when she was talking about it, you wouldn't expect from the outside, first of all, that this would be the case. If you aren't super familiar with the sociopolitics of South Africa, a lot of what especially the global West, sees of this country is that you see everything post-apartheid, which was not very long ago. We were all alive. Many of you watching were still alive were born when this happened. To reach the level of success that they have reached is not the same. And you brought up Canada, but honestly, no, not even Canada or the US have we in recent history had anything like the challenges that these women had to become this good at rugby, in the face of this being their national sport. And if you look at their men and how much money they make and how much money the program has and the resources that they have, you wouldn't believe us if we told you what the women had for the longest time, on top of having to be a woman in South Africa. I really hope listeners who are just learning about this understand that part of the reason that we are so excited about this team is because of everything that came before, especially players like Libby Janse van Rensburg kind of hinted at it when she was crying, but what they had to do to get here is not the same as what England had to do. It's not even the same as what Wales has to do.
Yeah.
I hate to, I'm sorry to have taken this away from it, but this rugby moment is more important than just making a quarterfinal. That was all I wanted to say.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know if Alma, I can't remember if she posted this on Instagram on a story, or whether it was at the Skaz podcast that she was talking about this, but she was basically saying how inspired she is by women's rugby at the moment and the growing of it, and sort of, watching all these teams in suddenly the biggest, championships and the biggest tournaments now, and it's just growing and growing. And the way that she was talking, it did hit me, because she was basically saying, she grew up wanting to play rugby but couldn't. And, her story is just one of, a million. And I always say about that with myself, like, I used to grow up, I wanted to play rugby. I did play rugby. It was hard, but I did have that chance.
It was extremely hard.
It was hard, yeah, but at least I did have that chance. Like, it wasn't like, it did happen in the 90s and stuff. And like, yeah, it was really interesting when she was talking. It was really inspirational, to be honest. Like, she was saying how inspired she was, and I was like, I'm inspired by what you're saying. But yeah,
that's exactly what you want out of a World Cup, especially.
It totally is. I don't know. There's just something.
That's a dream. That's the kind of like a dream, a miracle situation. The movie Miracle.
It is. It is totally.
But there's just, I think, South Africa and the South African men's team face this to some degree, but the women specifically hit this at a completely different level. It's the huge range of people that they have and the different backgrounds that they have. You've got, abject poverty to women and girls who come from much better off, more privileged environments, who are expected to not participate in a masculine sport, and expected to kind of, play netball and hockey and whatever. You've also got, the fact that there are women on that South Africa team who are gay, and it's, maybe not accepted. And, then you've got race and everything else. And it's just such a diverse group with so many kind of,
it's multifaceted.
It's multifaceted. It's intersectional. Yeah. Like, there's so many things going on there that it's a very delicate and very difficult situation. And obviously none of us are South African, but we just love that team. We love everything that they're doing. I
think they can be,
and the fact that she doesn't gloss over those things, and she has brought up the kind of issues and everything else, and I think it's really important to talk about kind of politics and sport and how they intersect.
Absolutely. But I think this team, South Africa, this team can be complete game changers. I know it's a bit of a cliche now. We use that phrase a lot at the moment, but I think they can change the landscape.
And not just in sport, just generally how women are viewed. And I think that's important.
It's huge.
I hate to be basically just cribbing something that somebody else much more talented said, but Alma did say in the same video, it's that sport is political, and not being said in a way that you should keep politics out of sports, but that there is no way to extract politics from sports, and nowhere shows it in a harsher light than South Africa. And this is the moment. I think that really that's what a lot of the girls were talking about when they talked about this post-match, was this is the moment. The light is never going to get brighter. This is the national sport. They're doing well for the first time. Other teams have had opportunities like this before and not used it. I think they are very determined not to be one of those teams. And that makes them really inspiring and exciting to cheer for.
Absolutely.
And I think we've talked at length about South Africa and how much we love them. So we've got our last 2 games of the weekend. So if we start off Scotland versus Fiji, 29-15. Once again, I was at this match, couldn't see the scoreline, was surprised afterwards because I thought it was much closer.
You thought it was closer, not further apart.
Yeah.
Huh. That speaks very well
They
to
look
Fiji.
quite good.
I will say this, yeah. We don't have to go into it again. We have in the past had lots of comments about the person who is now coaching Fiji. That said, sure seems to be working.
Something's working for them because they look quite good.
They look much improved, which is really what we hoped for. We talked a bit about in the past about the challenges that Oceania is facing. Hattie has thrown up the red flag at me.
It's not at you. It's at
It's at, I know who it's at.
mhm.
I know who it's at. They have all of that was to say, Fiji, like South Africa, is a nation that has faced a lot of challenges both within their rugby structure and the socioeconomic realities of the country.
No lesbians allowed in that team.
No
But they are
lesbians
now.
allowed. Luckily, the women who were not lesbians before, if you need, you can be gay now because Yoan
Oh,
Cunningham
they're allowed now, are they?
has met
Yeah,
at
but they
least one
fired
gay
that
person.
lady.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Funny story.
But you might get bullied.
The Fiji Rugby Union, very briefly, 2 days, I believe, hired a woman. I don't even know who she was or why she came up for this job. Doesn't really matter. Maybe it was like director of women's rugby or something.
Something like
And
that.
she came out and was just like, there
Well,
are
she
no
didn't come
lesbians
out,
on
did
our
she?
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Can you get a rim shot on those emojis?
That means a very different thing in the UK.
Rim shot?
Oh,
What
my
is rim-
days. Yeah, that's...
Rimming is a different thing, and I'm so sorry to our editors. That's one thing, but a rim shot is the ching, and you do
But
it.
that's not what I think of. Anyway, moving on. Back to no lesbians allowed in Fiji.
No lesbians allowed in Fiji rugby. Shout out friend of the pod, Lotte, who has let me know, because I had some suspicions. There are lesbians on the team. There have always been lesbians on the team, just like there have been lesbians on literally all of your rugby teams.
There have been lesbians
Luckily-
throughout time, guys. Queer women
Hattie,
exist.
Hattie, I
They
was
were
gonna say
just
Hattie,
roommates.
Hattie
They
has-
were roommates.
they were roommates. Everyone loves it when we quote a meme that's like 15 years old.
They
Everyone
were
loves
just very close friends
They were very close
Yeah.
friends.
that
Aunt
lived
Judith-
together for 60
Aunt
years
Judith's roommate, who she lived with for 35 years. Correct.
in a single room apartment
They just
with
have
their
one
12
bed.
cats.
They just had the one bed. Whoa! So just out of nowhere, they have to be cat ladies. See, now I think you're homophobic. We're going over this. Hattie's homophobic. This woman is homophobic. Hattie gets to keep her job because she's our friend. That woman, not my friend, didn't get to keep her job. Her ass got fired, which was very funny to me because I thought that they'd keep her. They'd be like, "Oh, I love what she's saying."
No, Alice Soper said no, and they had to get rid of her.
And that's the thing, is if you piss Alice off and you're within the
Yeah, you're
Oceania
dead.
region, it's donezo. It's donezo. So that said, we are happy with Fiji's improvements. Fiji knows what their strengths are, which I really appreciate as a rugby team. We know that like Fiji is the offload queens, and they were.
Mhm.
It was fantastic. The hands were pretty good. I know the weather was shit.
Yeah, it pissed it down.
I think- So I was listening to the Scrum 5 podcast earlier, and Shuan made a really good point about this game, that she thought that Fiji could have won this game if
Yes.
a couple of little decisions, or a couple of little moments had gone Fiji's way. And I kind of agree with that. I feel like, yeah, like you said, Hattie, the scoreline didn't really quite reflect.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think Fiji had like at least one try chalked off or like held up or something in it.
Oh, did they? I can't
Yeah, I
remember.
think so.
That sounds right.
And it was just like little things like that.
Oh, it was.
They
I
do lack
remember
a bit of
booing because I was
polish, I
like,
think.
"Have fun."
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think they lack a little bit of a polish sometimes. So kind of
Yeah, which
like
to be
like a few high
expected.
tackles, things like there's one or two little areas where kind of holds them back a little bit.
I'm still really disappointed with their tackling.
Yeah.
So I was counting and then like I lost count because I didn't care that much, but it was something around 60% of their tackles were around the neck. I'm not sure what the deal is there. I mean, especially because they are so strong, none of them are, like out of shape, I don't think. The fitness hasn't really been a huge concern, which really just means
No, they're pretty fit. Yeah,
They're fit. I think they're physically fit. And
But
what I'm going to
rugby
say
fit is a
might
different-
not say this. This might sound really strange, but like they're not that they're not like mentally fit, but like they mentally can't hang on for 80 minutes. If that makes any sense. So like
Yeah.
Game
their
management.
decisions.
It's game management.
Yeah, like
that's
their
game
decisions get worse. Their tackles
Yeah.
get higher, and it's not necessarily
The
because they're
mentality.
physically tired. Because I don't think they are. Like they could still run a pitch.
Or
and-
frustrated.
Yeah.
Especially in this match, there would have been frustration.
I think they
Yeah.
just like they mentally like they take their foot off the brake and they just kind of. Whereas they're going up against Scotland, you have EVG who just defensive masterclass.
It was incredible.
She was on one.
Yeah. I mean,
Insane.
for fantasy players, it would have been best if you had her for this week, but
Yeah.
in general, if you ever need a staunch defender or stalwart defender, it's always going
She's
to
a-
be
She's a cheat code right now.
absolutely. I think also is going to be up for Team of the Cup.
Yeah.
Somebody super reliable, super young, just so much
And
promise.
If we finish on a fun stat, 91% of Scottish tries have been scored by their backs, which is one, not very
Which we
surprising,
love to see,
and two,
and is not surprising.
They have great
is
backs.
the highest out of
That's the
any
thing.
team.
Yeah, that's slightly surprising, I think.
I was gonna say, I will
That
say
does
that
surprise
that
me.
is, I'm thrilled to hear that. That's exactly what you want to hear. And also, I think of all the teams, the one that looks scariest on a team sheet is Scotland for backs. They are all hits, no skips. Like it's
Literally, like 11
Yeah.
to 15 is like, oh shit.
11 to 15
Yeah.
is all players who have won awards or Olympians.
Yeah.
And with that, Ireland versus Spain, 43-27. Spain had like loads of possession, spent most
Yeah,
of their
they did.
possession in Ireland's 22.
It was really frustrating.
But their ruck speed was pants.
With absolute
Mhm.
balls, yeah.
I do think Spain.
I want to hear Sean's thought on this.
Well, no, I just think Spain have gone up a level than I gave them credit for, I think. I think they are a better
That's
team
what I
than
was
thought
curious
they were.
about. I'm curious
Yeah.
if you feel that, because I know that Spain is one that you keep an eagle eye on. I know that we have a lot of faith in them as a pod, as friends.
I forgot I was
I'm
wearing
surprised.
this.
I'm surprised. Well, and I mean, oh my God, big. Well, they're all Hattie's close personal.
They're all
friends.
Patty's personal close friends.
Right. Sorry, I just have to say this because it was the most insane thing that's ever happened to me.
Please.
And I'd made it. So I was with Hugh and we were like meeting some of the players, saw Bimba, and I was speaking to another player, and all of a sudden Bimba tapped me on the shoulder and went, "Thank you for coming," because she recognised me. So hi Bimba.
Amazing. That's amazing. She's got your stickers as well.
I
I
did
was
give her
gonna say
stickers,
I'll
yeah.
never make it that way. I'll never
I
make it
know.
that way. Of all of it, and this is like very much speaking to me as a person outside of rugby, all of your stories are fantastic. The pictures you send me like sometimes genuinely make me like kind of fangirl. However, unfortunately, my favorite thing is that you taught her the word sticker.
Yeah, so I went to Bimba, "Oh, would you like a sticker?" And she was like, "What's a sticker?" Because like English is not her first language, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Speaks, like,
speak
4
any
languages.
Spanish. No,
But you
Vamos.
had the social media manager with you.
I had the social media manager with me, who I can't remember her name, but I know she
Close
mostly does
personal
football, and I can't remember what her account is. Anyway, she was like, yes, she wants a sticker, and she's like slamming the record button. And so anyway, I get the stickers out, and then Bimba's like, "Oh," and then says whatever the Spanish word for sticker is, and then she was like, "Oh, now I know the word for sticker."
It's amazing.
I loved it, and that touches my heart. And if I could ever like teach, I'm sorry, like of all the things, that would be one of my party stories. Just be like, yeah, like what? Because so also for people who are getting, I acclimated to or acquainted with all these players. Bimba is the nickname for the captain of the Spain, Laura Delgado. If you know women's rugby at all, and like if you are around the world of it,
If you've watched any professional league,
watch any
She plays in the
professional
PWR.
league, she plays in the PWR, and now she's also played in Opiki. She has played here in the US. We weren't pro at the time, but she's played here in the US. I think she played briefly in South Africa also. Anyway, she's an angel.
She is.
She's one of the most beloved characters in women's rugby.
if you see her at the end of the game, people just like other players,
Swarm
coaches,
her.
referees, just like swarm her.
She's delightful. Every time
She
she
is delightful.
speaks, it is both inspiring and incredibly sweet. If you come across any interviews or videos with her, definitely give them a watch. She is lovely. You will also fall in love with her, guaranteed.
And you need to watch Spain's game at the weekend because it's going to be her
Also
last
watch
ever international game.
Oh no.
But she will be playing for
okay.
Quins next season.
She will be playing for Quins next season.
Oh my god, and Quins is gonna be
Quins are going to be loaded.
bonkers. It's gonna be bonkers, but we'll talk about that at the end of the cup.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a good game.
It was a decent game. I think, like I said,
Yeah.
Spain.
Decent is exactly what I would say.
Spain are better than they were. I think they have improved. And they're you know,
they've had
they've
time
been-
together and they've had
they've
like
had
6
time
months
together.
of professional contracts.
they
They
need
really
backing.
do seem
They
more
need
confident.
backing. They do,
Yeah.
and they've got some really good footballers. We've gone on about it loads of times. They can play, but they need that support now. They need that continuing
Absolutely.
They need
And thank you.
good
funding.
game time. They need the funding. They need. I think
Um,
Spain women have far more of a chance to break through than Spain men, and
Yes.
Yes,
That
they
has-
need to
that
be
has
in the
also
same. In the same
been the
way that
prevailing
Canada
conversation.
women have become like the priority for Rugby Canada, Spain need to prioritize their women's team because they're
Absolutely.
the answer.
they've got so
And the
much
thing-
potential. So I just really hope that it does happen. I kind of not sure if it will, but I got my fingers crossed.
I hate to bring it back to something that we spent so much time on, but actually, I'm very encouraged by what's happening in South Africa because that was the one that I thought they're never gonna cross it. Like they're never gonna realize that like you've given so much to your men. If you gave it to your women, things would explode. I feel like, or at least I hope, seeing this over the cup would give and if you ask me, other than South Africa, the first union I would think of is Spain. I wish Spain would realize that like, oh my god, I'm sorry that I have to say it this way. Dump your men's team. I don't know what to say. No, and this isn't the venue for it. I may actually talk a bit about this on Mall Street Journal if you're also a listener there. But I feel that you need to say the same thing to Canada. Sometimes or actually not even Canada. Sorry, it's my team. It's USA.
I'm beginning to feel
Sometimes
that
you're
about
winning-
Wales as well.
So Julia's going to get cancelled on Wall Street Journal, and we are
cancelled
looking
on
for
both
a
my
new
podcasts.
host. No, I'm
And we
kidding.
are looking for a new host. She needs them to have an annoying accent. If she were Canadian, they would like it more because then they can do more USA jokes.
Mm.
So Canadian women who love to yap, if you can put up with 2 Welsh people,
One of whom is apparently incredibly chaotic.
one of them is chaotic in English. Signal
I think
loss.
I think Hattie's just cancelled you, Julia.
I think I just got canceled in the friendship.
Yeah, we're going to have tough words.
I'm
Right.
American. Everything hurts me.
Yeah, your president's not dead. That's upsetting, isn't it?
The worst of all.
Imagine if
I
a
do
Donald
wonder-
Trump fan ends up watching
I
all
know.
of this. And then
Well, that
gets
would be
really
very
angry
funny.
in
First
the
of all,
comments.
3 of the gayest women I know that you're watching, and we're shrill. We have terrible politics.
I've got nose
There's-
rings.
She has no. Oh, we should
We're
should
so
end on
woke
that.
as well.
To the Rap Listener, which is a podcast about men's rugby. I don't know. To the Rap Listener, who, and it's crazy because none of
It
us
wasn't
ever
on
get
the rap pod though. It was on a short of me and Hugh at the Spain
Ooh,
game.
That's right. It was a promo. That's right. Wow. We don't even know how we found you. However you found us, God bless. I don't know what your YouTube algorithm is feeding you. But I am obsessed with this one fan. And this is 3
So
women.
weird.
This is 3 women who have gotten all kinds of hater comments in the past. Like there's a ton of things that you can come after all 3 of us for. I've never gotten biblical and not what you think. Not what you think. It's not who she's stooping. It's not that like she drinks or curses or has tattoos, all of which she does and has.
And
No.
that I have done in this podcast.
In this podcast all the time. Does it to me usually before I've woken up because they're 5 hours ahead. All of those things. No, this man has a problem with Hattie's nose ring.
And so he gave me a biblical quote.
Gave her a biblical quote about how Hattie looks like a cow.
Yeah.
Or a bull. And so that is why Hattie is bullshit.
Yeah. I think I had a good comeback though.
You did. It was a fantastic. It's also not hard to come back to that. Like, what okay, so like I short circuited and it was really early in the morning for me, so I was just like, she looks hot. Shut the fuck up. We're gonna send it to you. We're gonna send it to you. Hattie showed you the screenshot. Right. But so I wanted to just be like, when was the last time you had shellfish? Do you have any tattoos? Are you wearing polyester? I have a lot of questions about the most biblical man in the world who cares about women's rugby, but doesn't like women talking about it.
And his surname was Ridewood.
Sure hope he did.
That's what friend of the pod Toby said.
I was going to say, thank you, friend of the pod, Toby. I think that sometimes you don't listen to our podcast, or most of it, so I was going to steal your joke.
Well, I've got you out. So now we've talked about my biblical hate, to which I say you're going to be really upset with.
You cannot phrase it my biblical hate, because now we've got all the people who are like, Hattie hates the Bible.
No, I grew up religious. It's more law for you all. We're not going to go there.
Okay. Religious asterisk. Not what you think.
Quaker.
Not what you think. Quaker.
More law. Anyway.
The Quaker, the Jew, and I don't know what they have in Cardiff. I assume Christianity.
I'm nothing.
Nothing. Yes, that's the perfect Welsh thing to be. Druidic.
This is off topic, and this pod is all very, very long, but it's quite funny. So my nan.
Why does every episode have a my nan story?
Because my nan is just wonderful.
A character.
She is. I went over the other day, and she was wearing leopard print trousers.
But so were you.
Not at the time.
Okay, but it would have really worked with the joke if you had gone with me. But go on.
Sorry. Anyway, went over to go see her. Anyway, so my nan. When my dad was little, the different like Sunday schools in their area, because my dad is very old and my dad's not a Quaker. When my dad was very little, she would take him every year. It was like if you went, it was like either free or like there was something that meant that every year she changed denominations of what church they went to because she didn't want to tithe.
Okay.
So
two of us are lost. Go on. I didn't know that anybody except the Catholics tithed. Go on.
Oh, everyone. Most
Everyone
people
does.
Mormons have to tithe. Yeah, like.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Tithing
Mormonism is mostly an exercise in moving money around.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Anyway,
I'm gonna get
there
canceled
was
on
like
Mormon rugby Twitter.
Which strangely does exist. Anyway.
I know.
Anyway, so there was like some sort of weird thing, and like she kept falling out with people, and she didn't want to tie. And so every year, my dad went to a different denomination of church. So like my dad's been a Methodist, a Baptist, or whatever.
I like to believe that they were just like going around to see like who has the best after service snacks.
Also, probably that.
Just like just like trying to feel like which church has the best vibes, because like that's what Jews do when we're trying to figure out which temple to go to. Is we're just like which one are we like?
But every time my dad went to a new Sunday school, he got a Bible. So my dad has like 7 My First Bibles.
Sure.
From different denominations. And that's the story. And that's how I feel about Welsh religion.
Was he living in Wales at the time?
Yeah. And my dad only moved to England when he was an adult.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That gives you a lot more cred than I thought that like you were very detached from Wales.
No, my nan
refused to go.
Right, so my nan lives around the corner in England, and it's because she kept falling down the stairs. It was just easier to move her in. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, should we move on to the final bit of the pod?
Yeah, I was gonna say we really can't end there.
Yeah, that got weird. Anyway, going to the final weekend: England, Canada, Scotland, New Zealand, Ireland, South Africa, and France will qualify for the quarters. Who will take the last spot, USA or Australia? Let's vote very quickly. Sean?
What was the question?
USA or Australia? Who's
USA
going to
or
qualify?
Australia?
Go through?
No,
My
just very
head-
quickly. Tell me who it is. Who's going through?
My head says
Australia.
Australia. My heart says
Australia.
USA.
I'm saying USA. And as the person who asked the question, I am going to take the rule. What is saying USA?
I want it to be us.
What that'll happen?
Yeah.
that she's the positivity queen.
Yeah.
I would love it to be us. And now that you have
I
comforted
think
me a bit.
It could happen.
And now that I know that it's more possible than I thought. This is so hard. And like if
It is
were
really
any
hard.
other, if it were any other like this feels like a rugby word problem, because if it were any other situation, if it wasn't that we were playing one of the worst teams and that they were playing the best team,
It's
it
such
would
a
be
weird
Exactly,
situation.
which I think
It's
it is
such
a weird situation.
And the thing is, like, as always, and especially with my two Welshies here, it's the hope that's gonna kill me, so I can't be too.
Part of me feels that USA might do it, you know.
See, the thing is, you really hyped me up about how good we are with our heart, which is so true, and I like try to tuck it away because it hurts half the time.
I don't know. The USA Australia match was really weird, though. I just kind of felt like USA had more about them somehow.
Agree.
It was that, I don't know, it was like that tenacity.
I agree, and that was why I was so surprised when I saw the stat sheet look the way it did. It felt different.
It
And
felt
actually,
different.
we've said that about a few matches, and that honestly to me that's like World Cup magic. But I'm
So
sorry,
we're saying USA.
all right, yeah, we're saying USA. Let's go.
Yeah. France versus South Africa will decide if South Africa will hold on to their top billing because France missed a bonus point in the first weekend. So South Africa are currently sitting top of the pool. A draw with equal bonus points or an SA win will ensure that, and it will mean that they will face probably Ireland, because I think Ireland won't win against New Zealand in the quarters.
What are the permutations here? Who plays who? Depending.
So, if New Zealand win against Ireland, then New Zealand will face whoever comes second out of France and South Africa. So if South Africa and France draw with the same amount of bonus points, or if South Africa win, then South Africa will play probably Ireland and New Zealand will play France. However, if France win, then France will play Ireland and New Zealand will play South Africa.
I think South Africa can win this.
I would really like to see either of those matches, so I don't mind which outcome happens. I think if France win, it will be narrowly. I think
it's going to be a very close game.
I think it's going to be extremely close. I think it is going to be as close as Italy, South Africa was. I think it's going to come down to the last 5 minutes.
I think this might end up being the game we all thought that France-Italy was going to be that wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I like that. I like that idea.
That's a good shout.
Well, because right.
You did think that was going to be closer.
You think someone's going to get nilled?
No. You know how before the game happened, we all thought that the game was going to be really close.
Gotcha.
Italy might cause an upset, whatever, blah, blah. I think that this could be that game that we thought was going to be.
Yeah, I think that this is a game that looks foregone, but won't be.
Yeah, I think what we have to kind of like think about is that the French coaching is not good, and the South African coaching is very good, and South Africa would have had an eye on the France game, whereas France, I think, would have discredited South Africa.
Very much so, and that's one of France's unfortunate weaknesses. And I don't put this on the players at all. I do put it on their management. I think that it's kind of old style French management.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yep.
And I think as well, France are not an 80-minute team because as soon as PBS goes off, they sink.
So
South Africa are an 80-minute team.
Yes, and thought experiment then, knowing two things. First of all, that South Africa is an 80-minute team, and second of all, that South Africa is now willing to deploy a bomb squad. Knowing that, and knowing when bomb squads get deployed, do we think that there will be any attempt, because it hasn't been the case that throughout her career she has gone off at 60 minutes. It's recently. Do we think that they will push to keep her on? I mean, surely they have to see this pattern that we're seeing about the drop off when she leaves. Surely.
I thought they would, and then they pulled her off against England in Six Nations,
Which cost them the
which
game.
cost them the game.
I think they'll do the same
I
again. I
agree.
think they'll pull her off at 60, whatever it is, 65, is it?
I mean,
Yeah, it was around
yeah,
60,
60,
65.
Yeah, I
Um,
think they'll do the same.
then that's so frustrating because to that I will say you will lose and you will deserve it. Why would you do that? But I agree. I have no reason to believe anything else will happen, but I think it would be incredibly foolish to do so. If there is a oh no, damn, never mind. Because France definitely goes through no matter what, so you don't want to risk it.
Do we quickly want to do try of the weekend, player of the weekend?
Let's do it.
Okay, so very, very quickly, hopefully we're still recording. Very, very quickly, as we're doing every week, try of the weekend. What are we going with?
Bianca Silva.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Has to
Bianca
be.
Silva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Player of the weekend?
Libby and Van Rensburg.
Yes, or Sophie.
Sophie had a really good game.
Sophie Degody.
It was between these two. It was between those two for me
Yeah.
as well, though.
So, like, Sophie did everything. She took over as captain. She kicked
just did
100%.
everything.
She scored.
She's
Like,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, like, yeah, that's just what she does.
I know.
But it's the first time she's done it since she's been back from injury.
That's true. Exactly.
So,
Oh, I'm not trying to take it away. I
Yeah.
definitely.
it's like when you're hitting that level of excellence, it's like, oh yeah, you did that again.
Yeah, but that long an injury and that
amazing.
serious an injury and missing the Olympics, it's definitely important.
Game of the weekend, I think I know everyone's answer to this.
Well, I can't. I mean,
Do
it's
we?
South Africa. I don't know if we do.
called
It's
two
South
different
Africa
games. Or USA Australia.
or USA Australia. Two
think-
brilliant games.
USA
I know.
Australia, I think, had better rugby, but South Africa versus Italy had more.
Was box office.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
meant more.
For me, it is gonna be Italy, South Africa because of the show.
Mhm.
Because like
For
I'm
what
a
it
tiny
meant.
baby and I'm just clapping. And
And also
Yeah.
the emotion and what it meant. Not that the USA Australia match wasn't also quite emotional in a way. Like it was such a
right.
dramatic ending.
I will pick Italy, and it's not that Italy. I'm sure Italy was very upset as well. But I was gonna say like USA Australia. I take it away because like Australia was properly upset, but also like grow up. But I understand. But grow up.
This is what happens when you don't fund your women's team properly for a couple of years.
That's actually a really
Wales
good
lose to
point.
Fiji.
Wales might lose to Fiji.
Lose to Fiji.
I'm actually, I'm morbidly not excited to see it, but I'm morbidly curious how this goes. The win would mean the world to Fiji, and Fiji winning would be an ultimate blow to Wales, I think.
Was it 2003 or 2007 when Wales men lost in the World Cup?
This really is
2007.
our question.
2007. Yeah.
2007.
I feel like
Sean was
I
like,
remember it
drank-
well.
I drank heavily.
I think it's yeah. The problem is like, well, we've talked about this before. Welsh women's rugby's had so many lows that you can't even be like, oh well, if we hit a low, then something might
That
happen
was the
because
low. Yeah.
we've bombed everything.
Yeah, it's yeah. I still love the team, but I do feel sorry for them. Sorry, go on, Julia.
I'm going to end on a high because I'm very excited to see what South Africa does with France, obviously. Also,
Yes.
dark horse, Canada, Scotland is going to be, I think it's going to be better than we think. I don't think Scotland is going to win, but I think it's going to be the game that has pushed Canada the hardest of the matches.
I think
Yeah,
that could be
definitely.
the game where we see like the Canada side that's going to be in the quarters and the semis. I think
Yes.
because they've
Exactly.
changed
I
their
think that's when we're
changed
gonna
their
start
squad
seeing it.
around between the two games so far, and I think
Yeah.
we're going to see like the starting 15 this week.
Exactly.
Yes. And I
Yeah.
think the same for the Blackburns as well. I think
Yeah.
Yes.
them playing Ireland will be I'm really looking forward to that game.
I'm
for
very
similar reasons.
curious. I'm very curious what they settle on for the back line with the Ferns, especially with
Mhm.
we've seen flashes of their depth. I think we're gonna get a lot of answers with that one. I mean, these are exciting. I'm always sad when we're ending pools. It's where you see some of the most fun stuff. We're seeing it. It's when you see some of the most fun stuff. But that said, I am still feeling that feeling that I said I've been feeling the whole time, is that I think that things might be different than how they always are. And I can't wait. I hope you guys can't wait either. I think there's a lot of good rugby to come. We promised that it would get here. We finished all the blowouts. Yeah, it's time for the rugby. Are we happy with that?
Yeah. Hang on.
Wonderful. Then thank everybody so much for joining us. Hope you enjoyed. Please drop any questions or comments in the comment section. Find us on socials. This serves as kind of our review and preview as well. But if you have any questions, let us know. We will be glad to reach out. Until then, enjoy the rugby coming up, and we will join you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Women's Rugby Treehouse. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us wherever you see us on social. Join us again for more of the same next week, and until then, enjoy your rugby.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.